Hi guys, we're the Sound Nexus, and today we are here with Jacob and Kirk, who are starting up a new app. So guys, firstly, what is Picket Live?
So Picket Live essentially is a live mobile application that allows the audience of a live cover band, so if someone playing in like perhaps a pub or a bar, to be able to view their entire set list, so all the songs they know, and then they'll be able to request the songs through there and then perhaps vote on them, vote on other people's requests. Basically meaning then that the artist on stage has a numerically listed order of all the songs that everyone in their crowd wants to hear. That then they can tailor their set list to. So it's essentially like where a cover band might have like 100 songs that they know, and they've only got time to play 20 songs. Every bar, every customer base can be completely different. So you can tailor it to the exact needs of the people, as opposed to just guessing what it is that they want. Beyond that, then so that's like the app, if you were to talk about it for what it does for the audience. For an artist, then it has some knock-on effects where you can it gathers data, basically saying, so if you went to a bar that you played in before, you'll be able to see all the previously requested songs that you've that have been requested to you. Perhaps look at the bar's most popular songs. So if you've got this upcoming gig and you want to prepare. All right, I don't know these top 3 songs that are the most most requested songs in that bar. You'll be able to see everything through there and then be able to practice leading up to it.
Okay, cool. There's a liking system in place as well for the actual bands. So if the band's done a good job, you can gain a reputation through the app.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, so essentially the way that works is every time you play a gig as a musician, you get the person who's booked you or the owner of the venue to either endorse you or give you a like, and then they can review how your gig went. This eventually then builds up. So instead of going through perhaps an agent that vouches for you, saying that you are, this is the right band for your venue. This band will, please your customers. It's all written there in paper. You can see that this band is,
Great.
They are the right ones, yeah.
Cool.
So why should people check out your app in particular? Is there anything like this out there? Because I personally think it's a really cool idea.
Well, thank you, man.
There are a few other likewise things, products that do let the people choose what music wants to be played. For example, in this bar at the moment, there's one where you can play playlist here where you could use the app to show music videos on the screen and they play in the bar. But for this, it's mainly revolving around cover bands and live music.
Live music setting, yeah.
So if we take this into a bar and someone sees a band and says, oh, I really want to ask for this song to be played, but I'm too shy to go up and I don't know if they know it. So they're like, okay, well, use this app.
So perfect for introverts, really.
The perfect introvert, yeah. You got
That
it.
should be a slogan.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. So what first urged you to come up with the idea for Picket Live?
So I play in a cover band myself, and it was the summer of last year. As you know, as people get more drunk, they get a little bit more louder. But I had like a load of gigs where we get people coming up to request songs, and me and my band, we're always well up for requests. If we can play what you want to play, then even better. Do you know what I mean? So we had a load of people coming up asking for requests that we didn't know. They would say like, oh, play some Bruce Springsteen, and they'd want a song that we didn't play, but we could play another one, but they weren't happy with it. So you could see, I started seeing that people were like, oh, well, what do you mean you don't know this? And, like, what do you mean by that? So I came up with the idea, basically, it started off as trying to please a customer who wanted to request a song, and I went, I tell you what, look at my set list. Pick a song off there. These are the songs we know, look at the set list. And the idea sort of spiraled from there then, sort of giving the people the option. Because I've been stood there as a musician on times where you'll get 3 songs into a set, and then, say there's like 50 people in the crowd, 10 of them clapped, then 8 of them clapped, then 6 of them clapped, and you're like, well, what do you want me to do? But what song do you want me to play next? So it's sort of like as a way of like, instead of having to guess, on which you can do an educated guessing, but instead of having to guess, you can actually see exactly what your people want, which is
So as many people as possible are happy, really.
Yeah, exactly. So the bar as a whole gets to have the music that they want, as opposed to that one drunk guy that's down the front going, "Play the Stereophonics, man," you know. So yeah, so it was based around that.
Okay, cool, great.
Sorry, man. So what stage are you at, just with your endeavour, really?
Yeah, man.
Well, there's a lot of prototyping work being done. We've got a prototype app that we can show you today. Right, so this is the prototype for Pick It Live. As you see here, a little sign-in page. It's all going to be user dependent, so you'd have to create an account first. Here there's the map and some of the recommendations for you on your home page. Favourite bands near you playing in O'Neill's, for example. If you just go to my profile. This is your Swish list, which is your favourite songs that you can type in for yourself. I just type one in here, for example. Elton John. Who doesn't like Elton John?
Great taste.
Exactly. If we go back home here, just show you some of the event home pages. We've got these for the majority of venues around Cardiff at the moment. Here you have the Spokes playing here at O'Neill's, for example.
Great band.
You check in here to the event where you can actually vote on what you want to play next. So if I just vote on Seven Nation Army here, yes, I want to vote, and there we go. And if we look, try and vote again, for example, it says that you've already voted, so you'd have to wait until it's played. And if you see on the artist homepage, once the voters come in, it'll pop up on the active playlist.
So that's a really cool prototype. So what do you guys, what experience do you have in the industry?
Well, Jake, like you said, he's been in cover bands. I haven't been in the cover band myself, but I've been to many of his gigs, many to gigs in general. And I'm more for the social side. I help with social media. I designed the app, partially, the prototype, should I say, and some of the logo work, etc. I'm more of the marketing side, where Jake has the $1 million ideas.
So when it comes down to experience, like I've been playing as a musician for the last few years now in the cover band sort of scene. Before that, I worked as an engineer, so sort of from the other side, you know, like with instead of being the one that's playing it, you're the one that sat there on the other side listening to the same songs the band played the night before.
Just to clarify, that's a music engineer.
Live sound engineer. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. And then even before that, then I worked in a bar that was all about live music. So I was working behind the bar there. So it's got to see it from all sorts of different angles, and got to speak to loads of different customers from different sides to sort of be able to come up with, like, you know, a view that I think that this product could really help and really like make a difference for people.
I find the best ideas come out of an industry that you're involved in, where you can really identify those problems firsthand.
Yeah, you're sort of not missing any of the little things that you should know from being in there. You work through them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's good.
So what's the music scene like in Cardiff then? Is it good? Do you go to gigs often? It sounds like you've got experience on kind of like all sides of it.
There's quite a few bars in Cardiff that do provide live cover music. Live music in general as well, from up and coming bands and those who do cover songs. There's the one bar that we hope to get in, and we're in line to get Pick It in, is like Live Lounge, which they play live music all day, pretty much all day. A few gaps in between, they play them at night as well, which is obviously the prime time that we want our app being used.
Be perfect for live lounge.
Exactly.
To be fair.
Exactly. There's other bands like O'Neill's, which is a national bar. There's O'Neill's everywhere, pretty much. So we're working with them as well to hopefully get into the O'Neill's in Cardiff and then branch off into different areas of the UK further down the line.
Cool. So how are people going to find out about the app? I feel like a lot of people need to use it to get the app to its fullest potential.
Definitely.
How are you going to market it?
Well, social media is obviously a big thing nowadays, and with Pick It being social media-esque, as in people can, you know, review bands can review venues can review bands, etc. So we're hoping of pitching that to them, and obviously getting the fact out that if they're using this app in, say, Live Lounge could maybe provide deals for them, 2-for-1 drinks, things like that. They're only via the app. They're using the app.
Interesting.
So
I think word of mouth as well amongst music, like especially amongst the musicians. Like as a musician myself, I do feel that there are those times where, if you had it written in pen and paper, that this is what your customer, well, this is how you keep your customers happy, which also keeps the boss happy.
Sure.
That the word of mouth will spread, so you'll try it, and you'll end up telling your people, the people you know, or perhaps bands. Like if you look at the cover scene, a lot of you might have a bass player that plays bass in this band, but then he's the singer and the guitarist in the other band, and so word of mouth will spread really should spread quite nicely, which we think, because it does offer, ultimately, by knowing what your customers want you to play, they're going to react better, meaning you're going to enjoy your gig more. So you're going to be more inclined to want to use it. You're going to tell people about the good service you had, and then we've also worked it that like with the keeping your calendar full. Things that there's an element where you can tell the app how many days you want to work.
Okay, cool.
These are the times I'm willing to work. So then when venues can search for available bands, then they're going to be able to see based that you will show up in their results based on the fact that you're available and you fit the demographics of their bar.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. I like it.
and
So you're going to be, sorry.
oh, it's okay. I was saying with the venues, we're planning on cutting out the middleman, so we're effectively disrupting booking agents, and so the venues can go straight to the bands to ask for them to play. And most booking agents take £70 off, or put £70 on the bill just for the link between the band and the venue. So to cut out that, the fact that it's costing the venues less to get bands in would obviously bode well for us, and have other
It's a huge incentive to buy into the app.
exactly other venues could use the app, and then if they use it in one venue, another venue could see that and be like, oh, why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we saving money? Jump on that train, kind of thing.
Our market research has also shown us that you reading last year's UK pub report, which is basically a report that's made up of all the demographic data that gets sent out to pub owners. Drinking in a pub, between the people they surveyed about 2,500 people between the age of 18 and 35, and going to the pub and drinking came 16th in the priority list. And then what came first was going on social media. So social media and electronic engagement is more important to the 18 to 34-year-olds of today than going to the pub. We also found that more than 1,000 pubs every single year for the last 20 years has been closing down every year. But all the pubs that put on live music, they see an increase in their sales during the time they have live music. So if there was a way to encourage young people to be going back to the pub where they're getting their social engagement, and they're also, because of that, the bars who are putting on live music are getting the bands that fit and really make their customers happy, then who knows, we might even see more live music getting played, which means more work for like musicians, but then less pubs closing, more space for venues to be able to put on live music and grow the music culture.
Just sounds like a much better, more organised way than what's like the
Well, at the moment you're dealing with if you as a band were signed up to an agency, it's your agency. You're a band. That's it. You're a band. If you as a band signed up to an agency, that agent goes on your behalf and vouches for you. Says that, oh yeah, this band is good. This band can fit your bar. But it comes down to personal opinion. That's that person's personal opinion. Whereas you can have the collective opinion of everyone. You've got the venue owners who are turning around saying your band are really good. You sound good, you're professional, you turn up on time, you keep our customers happy, and your set list is great. That makes you look professional. That makes you get more gigs. At the same time of having to look at it as, taking that one person's word is there's a lot of people who are able to big themselves up now using social media, using like your online services. You can make yourself look great.
Sure.
You can, Scott, and you can go and sell yourself to a bar. And what you found a lot in Cardiff is bands who come along, mostly students, unfortunately, but students go to the bars and say, "Oh, we can put on a gig. We're a band. We can put on a gig for you." And these students, they have a set list. They have 20 songs they're going to play. And from that 20 songs, as soon as they get given a request, "Oh, can you play this?" They don't know any of the songs. And the bar, who perhaps took a chance on putting live music on, went with the word of this person, or from the word of it, or what they believe they saw on social media, to then make that booking, pay the money, and then perhaps not have live music again. Which it cuts down on work for the actual professional musicians out there, who, perhaps they're supporting their originals career by doing covers music. So it's an important thing, and being able to keep that full for them is quite important.
Yeah, 100%. So
Yeah.
there's a like system. Is there also the opportunity for a covers band to put across clips of their music, so people can get an idea of what they sound like?
We will be hoping to do that.
That would be,
That'd be a
good.
cool
Yeah.
That would be further on down the line.
Awesome.
So.
Yeah, it was sort of like, through the app, one thing we would offer people is, much like Buffer or Hootsuite, is an automated social media service.
Okay.
So you as a band, you get booked by this venue. That venue confirms your booking, and you confirm it through the app. Then instantly, social media posts are sent out to let everyone know who's perhaps following you or endorsing you, that you are now playing in that bar.
Like being in a band.
You'd be in the band now. Oh yeah.
So in regards to the liking system, have you thought about how you're going to keep it free from like bought likes at all?
Yeah.
We have thought about that, and mainly going on
GPS from there.
more of a GPS location-based thing.
Interesting.
So anyone in the bar can like it. You'd have to check into the bar whilst the band is playing, or check into the bar in general, and then you can vote. If
That's a good idea.
if you're not checked into the bar, you won't be able to vote. Does that make sense?
Sort of a good way of like securing that the bar is going to get your demographical data. They know you're in their bar, but when the artist turns up, they're going to essentially, their set list is ready. They check into the bar, putting their set list live, so then the audience members can start voting.
Oh, amazing.
And only through voting. And say, like, perhaps if we put like a limit on, you have to have at least 5 votes or 5 requests of songs before you're able to like the band. Sort of a way of proving that you were there, you listened to the band, you liked them, and
What if I went to a gig and forgot to use the app, and the day afterwards I decided, oh, I really like that band, would I still be able to give them a like that way?
We'd have 2 different systems. We'd have a like system and a favourite system kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure on definite names right now, because you want to kind of stray away from the favourite and like system, because it's overused in social media nowadays. But we have a certain system where you can take interest into this band, or if you have heard them, you forgot to use the app, you could like them or something like that, along those lines. And then to actually endorse them and to say that you're one of their many fans, you'd have to listen to them a few times or vote a few songs, etc.
Okay, cool.
Final few questions. Just generally, you've talked about the positive impact that it's going to have. So, is there anything else you think that is going to benefit the artist, the venue, or just the live music listener?
Well, like we said, it's the interconnectivity of it. So the social side of it it's a lot more personal. So, like I said, like we both said, the venue speaks to the band, band speaks, the audience can speak to the band, etc. And it's those things that really bring us together. And especially in the music scene, it is a really close-knit music scene. You know, there's audience members that can go and see whatever band, but bands speak to other bands, venues speak to other venues. The same goes, and the fact that it makes it a lot more personal, a lot more interconnected, does bring a real big positive and helps with the music scene in general.
And presumably, you're going to be able to log on as a listener or as an artist or as a venue.
Yeah, so
there'll
there'll
those
be the three different
sections.
types of accounts essentially, depending on who you are, what you're trying to achieve out of it. Yeah.
It'll be color coded. The audience has
Even better.
the band and artists have green, and the venues have blue.
Amazing. Okay, I got to wrap up really quickly because we're almost out of time. What can people do to get involved?
So if you want to get involved in our app and you want to help us at all along our journey, if you want to like perhaps get involved in our beta testing, get onto our website, which is picketlive.com or www.picketlive.com.
Links
There's
below.
a context page. Get in touch with us. Let us know who you are. Let us know perhaps if you've got any thoughts on this video, and then we'll get back in touch with you. Thank you, guys.
Great, we got to get a band together to use
Yeah,
this
get a
app because
band,
I'm sold. I'll
build
buy
a
into
set
this
list, get it uploaded, and we'll get to see what people like.
app. Love it. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you
We're
very
going
much.
to Sound Nexus. We'll see you next time.